have to consider is probation. I simply do not believe, in light of what was just such a blatant disregard of the law. I understand you weren't the one that couldn't have guns, he was, but you were absolutely all in on this and you knew he couldn't have them. And the law does not carve out something that says, well, you can live in a house with a gun if you're a felon because it's your blood, because you didn't have anywhere else to go. I understand it can make things certainly very uncomfortable for people. He'd just gotten out, he didn't have a plan, whatever. The fact is, though, that's not the law. The law is felons can't have guns, and you were working with him in this gun, and you're convicted of straw purchase of a firearm. So I don't believe probation is appropriate. I don't know what needs would be met other than the specific and the general deterrence. Because the message does need to be sent to the world that this isn't just a suggestion. It's not just a, yeah, if you feel like it, probably don't have a gun if you're a felon. No, you can't. Disagree with that all you want, but the fact is you cannot. He could not, and you knew that. And you entrusted your most precious resource to his care. Probably because you had to work, your mom had to work. It sounds like you both worked really, really hard. And you needed someone to care for your child. But you can't have this horrible combination of guns and caregiving and just hope nothing's going to happen. Because nothing happened in the past. We've lost all of the wonderfulness that could have been him. He could have grown up to be anything. He could have grown up to be a really hard worker like you and his grandma. He could have grown up to realize that breaking the law is not the way to go. And he was denied that opportunity. I don't think probation is appropriate here. This is just simply too serious. And I do recognize that the state has reduced the charge and they are making this recommendation, which is nowhere near the maximum that you're facing for these two charges. So it'll be prison, and I will get to that at the end. And I understand your argument, Ms. Ruckdaschel, as to the damage it's going to do to this family. And I'm so sorry for Grandma, who's now got two of her children, who lost her grandson, who has those two babies, who have suffered this trauma. I don't believe they're damaged beyond belief. I know that she's going to be able to care for them until you can come home to continue. Because I don't dispute that you have been caring for them. I appreciate that you're taking them to therapy, that you're recognizing this and not just ignoring it or saying, we'll deal with that after my stuff is done. You're recognizing their trauma. And I think that bodes well for them and for you. Conditions of time that you are serving. Oftentimes I'm asked not to order that there be no contact with the victim's family. You are the victim's family. So I'm not going to issue anything. I will continue the no contact order with the person who has their case open. I'm not going to order a no contact order with your brother because you're going to work this through at some point. I don't know how. I don't know how you come back from this. but I'm not going to order a no contact order. I don't remember if you told me, did you graduate from high school?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, that's my bar. That's my kind of my low level. Everybody, I think, needs that. I encourage you to take any educational or vocational programming that you can to put yourself in the strongest position to be there, be productive, to be there for your kids, and to use this time in the best way that you can. Is it 16 or 17 days?
I think 17, Judge.
All right, 17 days sentence credit will be ordered. You'll have to pay the DNA surcharge as well as any mandatory cost, fees, and assessments. I can't do anything about that. The non-mandatory, or the mandatory ones. I'll waive the non-mandatory, but you will have to pay DNA and mandatory. That'll be due and payable from your prison funds at a rate to be determined by the Department of Corrections, then will be payable as part of your extended supervision, and then it will convert to a civil judgment. Is there any request for restitution?
No.
Restitution will be set at 0. Due to the nature of this, I am going to find that you are not eligible for the challenge incarceration program or the substance abuse program. I don't believe those are issues that need to be addressed with you. I am going to order that you have a full mental health assessment, and that is not because I believe you have a mental health problem, like a diagnosis before this. I think you're going to have to learn to deal with all of this. And I want you to have that evaluation and continue on with your own therapy. So when you get out, you are as healthy as possible to assist your kids as you all work through this. They're going to not only have suffered the loss of their brother, but they will have suffered that you will be gone for a while as well. You may not have any firearms as you are now a convicted felon. Mr. Torbenson spoke of a problem we have in Milwaukee. There are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people who don't have firearms. Because I sit in this court, I hear from people day after day after day, well, it's dangerous out there, I need a firearm. You know what? That's not working for anybody. You are now among those who can never have a firearm. And I hope you respect that. You never have one again. Never be around them. Nobody is winning. No one in Milwaukee is winning by just getting more and more firearms. You're saying, oh, well, you have a regular firearm, so I'm going to get an extended magazine. Oh, you have an extended magazine, I'm going to get a switch. Like, it's just escalating beyond everything. Nobody's winning. Be the person that says, I want to be there for my 2-year-old and my 4-year-old, so I'm never going to do this. Because if they find it in my purse, I'm going to prison. Respect that. You cannot vote until your civil rights are reinstated. You may never possess body armor. If you violate, well, I didn't order that. So you do have the right to appeal my sentence. Your attorney will go through those rights with you. On this, I'm going to run these counts concurrent to one another. There were decisions made at different points that led up to this, but I believe it was all part of twisted sense of whatever you were doing with your brother. I will sentence you to 6 years on count 1 in the Wisconsin State Prison, 3 years initial confinement, 3 years extended supervision. That will be concurrent to count 2. On count 2, I will sentence you to 6 years in the Wisconsin State Prison, 3 years initial confinement, 3 years extended supervision. I know I just said a bunch of numbers. That means 3 years in. That's the bottom line number for you right now. And that's 17 days credit will apply to both because of the way I've structured the sentence. I wish you well, Ms. Collins.
No.
Knock it off and put your phone away. Knock it off and put your phones away, or they're going to be taken and the deputies are going to take action.
I love y'all.